Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. Today is the day that where I will interview different experts in their field, giving us their wisdom, giving us their support, and also share light of what they do. And I hope this session will inspire you. It is something that is quite close to my heart. Today, our special guest is going to share with us how to be your authentic self because we live in a world that we were told that we have to fake it till we make it. We are told that we shouldn't show ourselves so we won't be getting hurt. And all of those conditions have made us into staying in silence. So this is why that I have my special guest, Kellie Nissen, here today to share with us her story and to show you how to have your voice again. Hi, Kellie. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Martha. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Please tell us a bit about you.
Oh, about me. Yeah, so what do you want to know? I'm an author coach and an editor, and I help people through the self-publication process. And that's not me, that's my business though. So I'm passionate about helping people bring their stories out into the world. Um, I was a teacher for 26 years, and I always used to think that some of the most heartwarming moments in teaching were when children that you taught in previous years, ran into you at the shops or, wherever and said, oh my God, I remember when you did this and you showed me that it was okay to be me and okay to be myself, and you gave me that confidence. It's those, and it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's beautiful. So I'm really privileged now to be in that position where I can help other people do that through writing their stories.
That is beautiful. This one new word that I learned from you, obitori, is a Japanese word about being you. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, so all by Tori is so you know how you like people set New Year's resolutions and that sort of thing, and they
Mm,
always break them. But there's a trend at the moment for having your this is my word for the year.
mm.
So while I don't jump on trend bandwagons, I came across this word all by Tori and went, oh, I like that. So I've actually got it tattooed on my arm as a daily reminder. So it's made up of four um, kanji symbols, which are Chinese origin, but they're used in Japan as well. And each of the symbols is the symbol for a flower in Japan. So the first one is the symbol. I'm looking down at my arm so I can remember which is which. So the first one is a symbol for the Japanese sakura, the cherry blossom. The second one is the plum blossom. Third one is the peach blossom, and the fourth one is the apricot blossom. So for all of us who don't, we might not be really into flowers, they're all really similar. They all bloom around about the same time in Japan. They're all like a delicate pink, to the naked eye,
White.
those look the same, or pink or white. Yep. And but in Japan, they have this, they say all by Tori to mean that every flower and every person, they flourish and they bloom in their own time and in their own way or style, and that each one should be appreciated for who they are and what they are, rather than in general. So I sort of bring that down to, for me, all by Tori means be you, be yourself, be authentic, be true to yourself, and don't worry about what other people think, because you are you.
That is beautiful. Was that your catalyst for the change?
No. So my catalyst for change was actually the year I had breast cancer, which was in 2017. So I keep saying, like, every time I say it, I say, oh, 5 years ago. It wasn't. It was actually 7 years ago now. So it was the start of 2017. And I'd been I was 47 or going on 47, and I'd sort of pretty much been doing the same thing for years. I'd been a teacher for 26 years. I wasn't overly happy in that role. I wanted something different, but I didn't know how to get out, and I wasn't confident. And I'd pretty much spent, and I didn't realize this until later, but I'd pretty much spent all my life doing what other people thought I should do, doing stuff to try to be liked, and basically not living my life, living the life that I thought other people wanted me to live, because I no confidence. And when I got breast cancer, it was like this massive wake up call. And I know that's almost cliche now for people to say that, but I took the year off teaching, which I was really lucky to be able to afford to do that. And I spent that year going, apart from feeling like rubbish, sort of writing blog posts, just expressing myself, and sitting there ticking away in the back of my mind. It's like, you have to do something about this, because this breast cancer, this here is your wake up call that life is really short, and you actually need to start living your life the way you want to and doing what you want to do. So I remember going back into, after the year, going back into the staff room early in the year, and being in the staff room by myself with another teacher that I didn't know so well. And this teacher, so you get that awkward silence sometimes when you don't know people well, and one person's been sick but they're okay now, and it's just like, oh, what do I say? And so anyway, she said to me, oh, you're doing so well, Kellie. That last year must have been so horrible for you. And before I knew it, I opened my mouth and I'm like, actually, no, that was the best year of my life. And she was like, oh my God, you can't say that. And I'm like, I did say that. And that was the moment that I realized that it was because I'd taken on, it's not a new role. It was, I brought out the role and the attitude that had always been inside me and that had been suppressed. So that was my catalyst for change. And so every year now, I'll do something else, or I'll see something. And this year I just saw that all by Tori, and I'm like, yes, that's it. Last year I got my first tattoo, and people are like, oh my God, we didn't think you were that sort of person. I'm like, what sort of person is that? And you know what? You didn't know what sort of person I was, because I didn't know myself.
Yeah.
I didn't understand myself. So how can you understand other people when you don't understand yourself, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so beautiful. That just touches my heart because it took me years to find out who I am.
Mm,
And I do see that in our group, there's a lot of women that who lost themselves. They
yeah.
lost themselves to the past relationship. They lost themselves to loss and grief. And
Mm,
a lot of the time that I know this is such a hard moment. And we keep hearing, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. And that in a way conditioned us into staying in that victim mode.
mm,
And that was one of the things that I privately actually messaged one of our group member last night because I see her very, very sad post. And it was a screenshot, which we don't allow that into our group. But I private messaged her to give her comfort, but also ask her this question. When is the time to stop this BS and start looking after you?
mm,
And that BS, you can tutor as BS or belief system. When
mm,
is the time to actually start getting off all those like all those heavy feeling you have in your shoulder and
mm,
start really, okay, what do I want out of this? Why am I with this person like for 19 years? For me, why am I with them, but now that I'm out of it for 4 or 5 years now, then I still think about him, I still get triggered by him, I still get all of this
mm,
feeling by him. Why am I feeling that way? So I love the fact that you have discovered yourself in that year of break where everyone have the thinking that you must be very sad. You must be
mm,
needing all of that extra push and stuff like that. But in fact, you find yourself, you ground yourself, and you
mhm,
find the true you. And that's just admirable. And I think this will inspire a lot of us that who are going through tough situation. I always say, you know what? We always say this that we don't have a choice, but we do. We
Absolutely. Yes.
and you make the choice to not going down to sorrow, not feeling pity of yourself, not staying in a victim mode. Okay, we all blame, we all swear, we all do that sort of thing when we're
Yeah.
not well. We're all been there. But the differences is how long do you want to stay in that space? Because
Mm.
you know, mourning, venting, it's good for a little moment, but then what benefit do you truly get from it?
Oh,
So for
absolutely.
you, how is things change for you now, finding the real Kellie and that person that you can truly love?
Yeah. I think I'm just, and there's probably a whole heap of like little different things. Like I'm happier within myself
Mm,
because I used to say, like, somebody say, oh, like, come and do this, or come and be this person, or dress this way, or whatever, and I would do it and I'd be so angry at myself internally, because here I am yet again, I'm just being what somebody else wants me to be, and all that sort of thing. So I think I had that awareness, but I didn't know how to break out of it.
yeah.
And so whereas now, people will say, oh, you need to dress this way to come to this event, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go then. That
Mm,
sort of thing. Like if I have to dress a certain way, or if I have to behave in a certain way because that's what you expect, and because, like, when people say, chopping and changing, but when people say, oh, come on, we won't have any fun if you're not there. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not responsible for your fun, you know.
I love
And
it.
and then I say, then I I sort of depends who it is, but sometimes I say, you know what, you force me to go, I guarantee you won't have any fun.
Yeah.
And I can say that now. And I used to be worried, like, if I, knocked back invitations, or I didn't
Yeah.
show up, or I didn't wear the right things, that I wouldn't get invited anymore and people wouldn't like me. Whereas now I just say, yeah, actually, no, that's not for me. Um, and they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. And, I get the invitation the next time. They keep trying, but that sort of
Mm,
thing. So I think what we tell ourselves is, oh, other people will do this and say this. It's more our internal voice going, I'm too scared to
mm,
actually take a stand. So I'm going to put that blame onto other people, because if I say
yes.
this, people will do this.
Yes.
Whereas sometimes they will. If they do, they're not your crowd,
Yeah. I,
basically.
I,
Yeah.
I hear you 100% on that. Like, I think a lot of us have that fear into saying our truth,
Yeah.
thinking that, oh, what would other people not like it when we actually do it? And especially in the social media space, it is tough.
Mm.
Like the other day, even for me, I put a post out about, okay, I saw this post on Facebook and saying that, okay, don't blame the cloud. Bring ask yourself why you joined the circus. And
Yeah.
that
I love
just
that.
speaks to me. And I'm like, wow, it is so true. So I
Mm.
posted out and said that you know that you have a choice to make. You have this decision that you have to do for yourself, because
Mm.
you can choose and ask yourself, why do you keep going back, instead of blaming the other person for all your pain, all your fault, which I can say they probably is responsible in some way, but no one else is responsible for our happiness. This
Yes.
is the key turn in there. And I put it out as an encouragement post, and then someone in the group is like, it's a hard process and things. It's like, I understand. I hear you.
Yeah.
Very calm, isn't it? And then it was a
Yes.
way of attack. I was like, oh, I'm sure that, like, have you even been on DV situation? Like, it's impossible to do
Yeah.
the. I'm not like, okay. Before, I will actually say, yes, I was in a 19 years abusive marriage. Hello? You haven't read
Hmm.
my profile. You don't know who I am, but you just start judging. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
And then I stop myself. And thank God this is my group. There's a button called ban and there's a button called block. Very easy to use.
Yeah.
I
I
love it.
know. And I love that you do that as well, because the group is, it is really, like I look at a lot of stuff. I don't post a lot of stuff, but it is that safe place. And there's a lot of groups out there where it becomes very unsafe very quickly.
Yes.
And I always say, if you don't, like, people say, oh, I saw your post, oh, I don't agree with it. I'm like, that's fine, scroll
Yes.
past it. I'm not
Yeah.
asking you to agree, I'm giving
Yeah.
you my opinion. And
Yeah.
if you don't agree, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not here to persuade you to think like me.
Yeah.
um, and that sort of thing. But it's just like, whatever. But I tell you what, I will not lose a bloody argument. So
Yes.
it's like, oh,
You see, that's why that I love talking to you. You're always able to actually enlighten my day by us thinking so similar that it's like, you know what? I have enough of being a woman in silence. I have enough of being a people pleaser.
yeah.
And I have enough of BS, okay? It is
Oh no.
within my power now to shut you down and get you out of my life. And I
Yeah.
do understand how hard it is to go through trolling, how hard it is to go through bullying.
Mm.
And guess what? I learned that once I ban someone from the group, I need to block them in my personal page as well so I don't get hate mail.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Everything is a learning experience, right?
Yes.
It's like, doesn't matter what. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about how you come about your Just White Words offer business.
Oh, yes. So, okay, that was interesting. So, it's been running for about 5 years.
Mm,
Um, Now, yeah, 5 or 6 years. And so pre-cancer, I'd sort of started thinking, oh, I need to get out of teaching and blah, 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 blah. But there was that fear factor, and what if I fail and everything. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I dropped my hours. I went part-time.
mm,
And I did this, I did a professional writing and editing course, which I really loved. And I thought, oh, that's awesome. I'll make a website and the clients will come, which is rubbish. That doesn't work. That sort of thing. So it sort of sat there for a while. And then, lo and behold, I got this email from the Canberra Institute of Technology, and they're like, oh, we're offering these short courses and blah, blah, blah. And there was a small business management course.
mm,
And I thought, yeah, what the hell, I'll sign up for that. And I went along, and the guy that was running it, he actually ended up being my business coach. But on the second or the third week of the course, it was only once a week, 2 hours a night. But on the second or third week, he was banging on about, in small business, you have to, you can't be doing anything else. You can't be working in another job. You have to 100% put, like, 100% of your time has to go into the business. You can't be doing anything else. And I'm like, you know what? My kids are at high school, they weren't at that stage, but a little bit younger than high school. They're getting to that stage where we've got bills for this, bills for that, blah, 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 blah. I owned my own home with thanks to cancer giving me a trauma payout, which was, I feel really lucky for that. But, you can't, I've got all these bills. I need to keep working, teaching part-time while I build the business. And he looked at me and he's like, well, you'll never succeed
no.
like that. Now, thinking back, he had this glint in his eye, so he knows how to push my buttons, right? But when he said that, I went from 0 to 100, and I could have punched his lights out. I'm just like, don't you dare tell me that I can't do something. And that sort of thing. And then inside, I'm like, I'm going to prove you wrong if it's the
Yeah.
last thing I do. That was the catalyst, for really getting the business into overdrive, and eventually resigning from teaching, which was the scariest thing I ever done, I have to say. But anyway, yeah, so and it was in that course that he forced us to choose and register a business name. And I say forced because it literally was, for me, it was like, you will do this. But I needed that push. Yeah, exactly. And go to a networking meeting. I'm like, oh my God, all these people are in business
Yeah.
already, and here am I. I'm just got this little
Yeah.
hobby and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it was all this massive, massive learning curve,
Yeah.
which I think was building up to finally just going, you know what, I've found who I am. I'm determined to do this. And I'm not, don't tell me I can't do something. Don't ever tell me
Yes.
I can't do something.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
and
I
that's and
love it.
that's it's what I say, like clients and that sort of thing. It's like they're like, oh, I'm no good at this. I'm like, don't ever say that, because if you say that, then it's true.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, if I say, oh, look, I might not succeed, then you damn well won't
Yeah,
succeed.
that's it.
So yeah, and that's what it is. And I know I've been lucky in a lot of things, but a lot of it's been damn hard work
Yeah.
and pig-headedness.
Yeah.
And I've said I'm going to do this, and I don't like to fail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that actually answered the question, but anyway.
No, it's great. Like, because you show us that there is, if there's a will, there's a way. That's
Yes.
what I actually wanted to inspire everyone on. Like, I hear all of this, like even myself, I gave myself a lot of excuse. Not enough time, not enough knowledge, not enough
Yep.
this. But when I'm pushed to that position, I'm even impressed with myself. Okay, I did all of that. Oh, okay, yeah, I can actually
Yeah.
do this. So what are the BS that I've been telling myself that I can't do certain things?
I know.
You know what? This is not too bad. Like, I have fear? Yes. We
Yeah.
all have fear. Okay, yes, I'm a confidence coach, but doesn't mean that I'm good at absolutely everything. You asked me to cook. Okay, be aware of having food poisoning. Okay, that's what I always say. But did I kill anyone yet? Haven't. Luckily, my dog and cats are still alive. They're all good. so, so it is all this thinking in our head that stop us from going further. And
Yeah.
we could do better as long as that we kick that ass and say, hey, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And guess what? You're not doing it alone. There are people here to help you. Just
Yeah.
like you here that are helping women to have their voice come out. If
Mm.
you're thinking about doing a book, if you're lack of confidence in doing it, and if you don't have direction of what you should do, and other people have told you, who the hell are you to do something like that? I'm not someone that who have no grammar, no English, no a lot of things. Guess what? I have 2 author books that is published in Amazon. I have 6 other ebook that I have written. So don't tell me that because of A, B, C, D, E, I can't be an author. When
Mm.
I'm sure that when with my first book, I cried for days as well. I was like, I did it, I finally did it. Did it make sense? Probably not. Like, it came out, it came out.
Yeah, yeah. It's beside the point whether it made any sense or not. It's like it is that personal achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's that, oh, you know what? I can do this. And I always say to people are like, oh, I don't know, people, my story's not that interesting. It's like rubbish. I've just written a book, got 22 women in it that have all had breast cancer. And every single one of those women said, oh, my story's no more special than anybody else's. They're all different. They're all
Yeah.
different. And I'm so proud of them that they shared their stories. Um,
Oh,
but if you're interested in it, somebody else will be as well, is what I say to
yes.
people,
That
and
is
it's
just
not everybody's cup of tea. So what? They can go and read something else. Who
yes.
cares?
That's it. Like, it's okay. It doesn't matter. As the most importantly, are we satisfying ourselves? Are we satisfying our need? Because I want my voice to be heard. I want that my story to actually linger. That one day my kids, I don't have kids, maybe like my niece's kids, come in, pick up that, go, hey, what is this auntie actually written? Isn't
Yeah,
that a cool? Like, isn't that
yeah, yeah,
amazing that you
yeah.
leave a legacy behind? That's
I
pretty cool,
know.
isn't
And
it?
I don't tell you what, there is nothing more cool. Like, you can impress all the other people in the world,
Yeah.
but there is nothing more cool than seeing your own name on the front cover of a book.
It
Like, I
is.
don't care who you are. I don't care. Like in Australia, we say, oh, you shouldn't big note yourself and blah, blah, blah. Bugger that. My
Yeah.
name's on the front cover of a book. It's like, I did it, and you do it for you. You do it,
Yes.
you do it for yourself to
Yes.
prove that you can, to have a voice. And
Yes.
that sort of thing. And that's what it's all about. If you make 5 cents from each sale, that's also a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for me, it's more about me having that confidence to actually do something for me.
Yes.
Like, we've been always told that we can't do something. Like you said, you have a trainer that tell you that you need to drop everything to be very focused in it. I have a trainer that told me that I said that I wanted to charge $500 per an hour. And then he literally said, who do you think you are? Like, I'm charging this and things like that. And I'm like, guess what? I'm already charging $350 per an hour. Why do you think that I can't charge $500 for an hour? Now I charge 550. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, there you go. Bugger that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's not that
It's
I pulled them more. It's just that I know that I'm worth a lot more than that. That's
yes.
actually the differences.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that is the whole thing too with business. People go, oh, I won't charge this much because if I charge too much, I won't get clients and that sort of thing. And in some cases, yes, but in most cases, you say, how much whatever the cost is, and people go, okay. And it's like, and I've even had people, like, I have on the odd occasion quoted people, like, because I'm just like, oh, this job's not really for me, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh no, we really want you to do it. And so I'll quote some high
Yeah.
price, and they're like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, oh my God, I should have charged more.
Yeah.
But you've just got to, but you've got to say it with confidence. You don't, you don't want to say, oh, I'm really sorry, but this is how much I charge per hour. And that's because people are going to go, yeah, that's too much. But if you just say it, that's it.
Exactly. It
That's
happens.
what
Like,
it is. And
I'm
if
so with you.
people don't want to pay, odds are you don't want to work with them either,
Yeah.
really. So
And when people don't see your value, and if you don't see your own value, that's when you go downhill. Like, I
oh yeah,
just charge someone a ridiculously amount of money to stay with them for the whole day, and then like everyone look at me and say, really, she pay you that much? Yeah, why not? I'm
yeah,
worth it. I'm worth it. Like,
yes.
I don't need to be number one. I know, like, a lot of people say, I need to be a number one, I need to be all that. No,
Nah.
I just need to be the best in me.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say the only person you need to succeed more than is you.
Oh, that's it.
It's
That's
just,
it.
yeah, it's just we spend so much time just, looking at other people and going, oh, they're so successful, I'll do what they do. It's like, no, it works for them, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I mean, I
Yeah.
look at what you do, and I'm just like, holy moly, so much value, so much, generosity there, but also, you know what, that you're good at what you do. And
Exactly.
and even if you self-doubt in your head, it does not come out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's what we wanted to inspire all of you today, to realize that you are valuable, you are important, and you matter. When you're starting to value yourself, that's when others can value you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Kellie, so much for being with us today. It's always been such a pleasure
Oh,
talking to you.
I love talking to you. I really do.
It's amazing. So I definitely want you to come back on our Knowledge First Day, maybe to do a workshop with us about writing and being your authentic self. And I think that would be really valuable for all of
That would
us.
be lovely. I'd love to do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again today. And thank you for our audience and our listener for listening to today's Wisdom is Power Wednesday. Thank you. And I look forward to see you in our next episode. Bye.